Good morning, everyone. I hope I am audible. Can anybody please confirm? Just drop in the chat and then confirm me that I am audible well enough, please. Anyone? Still waiting for you guys. Okay, great. I think there is some buffering issues. So that's why initially when it start, it will generally take time. Okay. Thank you, Ankush. Thank you, Srijit. Yes, Nitin. So good morning, all of you guys. It's good to see you again on this our fifth session. So it's good that you are following continuously and seeing it. And maybe good morning to all of them who are watching the recording as well. Maybe after some time. So great to see you guys. So I think we still have a little low audience. People are still joining in, so that's fine. So meanwhile, anybody has any questions, anything which they want to ask or share, please put down into the chat any what is your feedback so far, how much you're liking this session, and etc. So anything which you feel you wanted to share about, please go ahead. Srijit is asking, hi sir, the course for the 5th November 5th is a new session. Yes, definitely that will be a new session because that is a data engineering course. So that is a long journey, almost like 12 weeks long course. So that will be takes around 3 months to finish off. Yeah, anybody has any other thing which they wanted to share? Ronak is saying sessions are very good and helpful. Thank you so much, Ronak. Thanks. So, how many of you attempted all the quiz that we have in our portal? So, did you try any one of them? Today, hopefully, you will see a one assignment as well. So, if you have not registered there and seeing it, please go ahead and register. I'm again put down the URL. I think that URL is anyways under the description of this uh, you- YouTube live itself. So get it from there and log in. It's completely free. So you can try practice something. Anuj is saying you said there are three types of securities, but we have discussed about the two. I think you you might be asking like how different ways you which you can share the access tokens or you can share the storage account. Please confirm if you are talking about that thing. Hi sir, thanks for Bharat. Hi sir, thanks for the sessions. Do we get set of material to study and revise from later we needed? See, I mean, this is, as you know, this is completely a free sessions. So I don't have so much content to prepare. I mean, I'm alone. I'm not running any institute, to be honest. So I don't have that facility, but I will share my own PPTs, whatever the content I have. So I'll provide that. Mm, Nikhila is asking quiz one. I didn't get you, Nikhila. I mean, so if you are seeing it first time, we have a one LMS portal. So there you can see all the recordings, quizzes, and assignments. So might be you are not aware of it, and that's why you are asking. So that is the that portal. So I'll again put down that you go ahead and register there. It's completely free, nothing you have to pay, and there you can go and check all quizzes and assignments. Bharat, thank you. Anuj Rana, yes, about that only. Yeah, so we'll talk about it. Don't worry. Okay. 60 folks. Let's for wait for 2 3 more minutes. I don't know how much we should expect. I expect around 100. So let's see. Karthik, good morning, Deepak. Thank you for wonderful session. Thank you, Karthik, for joining in, because it's tough to maintain the continuity. I mean, it's tough to join every day, because even if you see the pattern, it's not the first time I'm taking the live classes or live sessions. I'm quite used to taking it. So over a period of time, you see a fall. So that fall is very genuine, they're very general. So you should give thumbs up to yourself that you are doing a great job, and continue joining the fifth session. Great. Nitin, all sessions are very nicely explained. Thank you so much. This is coming a very good question, Raki. Difference between a data analyst and the data engineer. So basically, a data analyst is someone, as the name suggests, he is the one who is mostly analyzing it. The work of any data engineer is basically related to creating some kind of reports, maybe using Power BI, maybe using Tableau, maybe using little bit of Excel, or using the SQL. Okay, so that is generally a use of a data analyst. Data engineers are the one who might be before the data analyst, and they prepare the data which is used by the data analyst to generate the reports. Okay, so data engineer work solely would be like there will be 100 sources of different data. They probably have to bring all those data into a common place, clean this data, remove all those the inconsistency in the data, removing all, for example, removing those null values, invalid records, etc. So that is the work they prepare. They prepare the data, clean the data, and create a meaningful data which can be utilized by either a data analyst or a data scientist for further processing. So this is in general a difference between a data analyst and the data engineers. Nicola is asking, can you let me know how to delete the resource from the Azure? Is the deletion really needed every time? It depends upon the type of the resources, what you are looking for. For example, if you are just using the storage account, probably storage account is one of the cheapest service. So you don't have to go down and delete that. It's fine even if you keep it. So this will charge will be very, very low. Ideally you have to go and delete to ensure that if you don't want to get charged for any of the services. So that's the reason only you should go ahead and delete it. Or I mean, as simple as that, you are, if you are not don't want to use it, that's why you going to delete it. But again, in some cases you have some servers, or for example your virtual machine. In virtual machine, if you stop the virtual machine, it will put down a lot of cost. But even still you have not deleted the virtual machine, it means that the memory that you have utilized there, you store some data into your virtual machine, that has to be there, right? So if data has to be there, it means like cloud, you are reserving something into the cloud. And if you are reserving something into the cloud, basically you will get to be charged for that. Bharat is also asking, data analyst and data engineer. I just answered this question. So you can, end of the day, you can just go back and rewind this clip again. You will get this answer. Ronak Patel, for data engineer with the 5 years of experience, is it mandatory to know about GitHub, Ansible, Kubernetes? Whether you are 5 years, 1 year, 2 year, 10 year, 15 year, 20 year, whatever is your experience, whatever is your profile, whether you are a data engineer, data analyst, C++ developer, Java developer, whoever you are, Git is the most common thing which you must be aware of. As simple as that. Okay. So Git you must know, because Git is the repository. It's a version control system where you are maintaining the versions. So that is important for sure. No doubt. But Kubernetes, it's fine. Ansible Kubernetes is not needed. GitHub is fine. Salil, is ADF, ADB, and Synapse is free after 1 month till 12 months of subscription? Nope. Not at all. They are not free. They are going to be charged. But trust me, Salil, hardly it will charge a 1,000 rupees a month, if you use it smartly. But imagine the career transformation it can give you. Maybe even if you spend a 5,000 rupees, even assume it for 3 months, 5,000, 10,000 rupees, you imagine, you assume, uh, consume those 10,000 rupees. The reward which you can get in respect to it would be immense. If you get a 5 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees hike, imagine it will be like 100 times. So don't worry about that. Ideally, nothing to scare about. Idle, if you use it smartly, ideally it should not give you 500 or 1,000 rupees cost. And even what you can do is you can make a multiple free accounts. Nobody is stopping you. So that anyways you can do. But don't run away because of this subscription and all. Shriji, how we are planning for a data engineer lab during the course. So, Shriji, you have to make your own free account, and there you can practice it. And I'll give you a lot of assignments, quizzes, and you can do all practice there. Vyas Padala will explain NoSQL. I think we yesterday we already talked about the NoSQL. NoSQL is not the agenda of this entire sessions, so I'm skipping because that otherwise this discussion will go into an altogether a different mode. Okay, so let's wait for just 2 more minutes. At 8:30 sharp, we will start. So whatever be the number of the counts we have in our live audience, that's fine. Sanjeev Kumar, I am 41 and age is issue because I am not getting calls for Azure 104. I don't think so. Age is the issue. I think what is your profile that could be the challenge. Okay, so I'm not sure what you are putting in your resume or what you have done so far up to this point. So anyone has any other question? Otherwise, I'll quickly run through my course. So give me a minute. I'll start right away. Okay, great. So let's start with a one small quiz. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so I hope my screen would be visible to all of you, and this will be our question. Okay, great. So the question here in front of us is, your manager is asked to deploy the newly developed web application over the cloud. Okay. Now, however, this application works best with the Ubuntu. That is a Linux version as operating system in your comparison to the Windows OS. Which type of service you will choose in the Azure cloud? Now think about it and answer it. So, what should be the answer? Come on, guys. Drop in under the chat your answer. Sanjeev is saying it is a pass. Shriji is saying it's IaaS. Anyone else? Quick, fast, guys. Test what you have learned so far. So, this is something coming from what we have learned. So, if you remember how this IaaS, PaaS, or SaaS difference is all there. So, think from that perspective. Chitra Priya is saying SaaS. Dushyant is saying PaaS. Deepak is saying IaaS. I can see others. Pratik SAS, Amit SAS, Manoj Pas, Raki IAS, Sanjay SAS. Come on, quickly type in, guys. Fast. Check what you are thinking about this answer. Okay, could be. Okay, great. So thank you. So every one of you, I can see that is trying. The right answer here is IAS. So many of you has given this right answer, but again, many of you has answered this pass and SAS. So guys, let's understand why this cannot be the pass and SAS. See, here what we are doing, we are developing an web application. So application is what? Application is mine, right? And what I'm trying to do is our application works well only with this system, operating system, right? Which is Ubuntu. So where we going to deploy? End of the day, we have to deploy. It means that this is my application and I need a server where I can deploy this application. Okay. Now imagine when we talk about the SaaS service. SaaS is what? Software as a service. Your Gmail, your Skype, your maybe let's say mutual fund website, or let's say mutual fund premium calculator, maybe, or all those applications is what? All those application is nothing but a SaaS, right? Software as a service, where you don't care about how someone has developed it, how it has been designed, etc. What you only care about is you just go ahead and you start using it, right? Just like you are using this YouTube streaming right away. So that is nothing but a software as a service. So here, but if you look at this question here, you have your own web application which you need to deploy, etc., etc. So SaaS could not be the answer here. Now coming back to this PaaS is giving you the platform as a service. When I say platform as a service, then you might be asking only the space and the resources, but you are not getting the uh, you're not getting the ownership to go ahead and install the operating system or anything as per your need. Why? Because you're just getting a platform, what is installed under it, you don't worry about it, right? So pass cannot be the answer here. The answer is IAS, because here you want an infrastructure. You might want just a one machine, okay, and then you want to ensure that, okay, on that machine I want to install an Ubuntu specific version, and there I'm going to deploy my application. So you want to ensure that you don't want to leave to the cloud that whatever be the operating system installed on it and those machine I get it, right? You want to ensure, you want to fix it. So that means you are going to take a IAS approach, or this type of, in this case, this is basically you need an IAS type of service, which is nothing but a infrastructure as a service. Okay. Now, as I'm already talking about this infrastructure as a service, there is a fourth option. Here it is written serverless computing model. So far, I think we might have discussed about IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, but this serverless computing model we haven't talked about it. Now, what does it mean by this serverless computing model? So let's understand this. So let me go down to my whiteboard and then we'll talk there. Now, this serverless, so does it mean that there is no server? No, it means that server will be there, but then what is the serverless computing service? Now, this is a quite popular service in today's world. Okay, serverless computing is very popular and very frequently used in the cloud world. Okay, so let's understand what is this. For example, assume that you have something. Okay, you are, let's say you are you have a you design something. Okay, maybe let's say for example you are a writer. I'm taking a very off the track example. Assume that you are a writer. Okay, you might write a scripts for a movies or for a anything. So what this generally writer do? Writer writes their own script, then they take it to the producers or the directors, and they say that okay, this is the script, you just make a movie on it. Now this writer doesn't care about it, like what is the studio it is getting, what is who will be the actors, who will be the um, co-stars, etc, etc, etc. So that writer doesn't care about it. He, what he do is like he is the one who just write it, and he just need, somehow he just want somebody to just run that script or run that play. Okay, so generally writer is kind of that. Okay, similarly here in our IT world also, sometimes what we do is we create functions. For example, okay, let's say for example, I am I think that I'm a very smart guy. Let's say I have created one, a mutual fund calculation of, using my own logic. Okay, so some mutual fund calculation program I have developed. So I have this code developed. Okay, this is my piece of a code. Okay, I written some code here, and I created a one code. I run it on my local machine, and it works perfectly well. So I said that this is the mutual fund code. Probably I'll put down some money. I mean, you have to just pass on the some money, and it will tell you that how much money this will become after 10 years. Okay, so it might be calculating this future value. Okay, now this is just a function. Okay, now what you do is you think that this is the function which could be utilized by someone maybe one time, two time, 10 time, 100 time, whatever be the number of times, I don't care. But I don't want to take a server. I don't want to install the operating system. I don't want to create a web application, and I don't want to take care of all those deployment. Okay, I don't want to do all that. So what you can do is, uh, in the cloud, every cloud is providing this serverless computing. So what serverless computing says is, you go to the cloud and you say that, cloud, this is my piece of code. Okay, now my piece of code is with you, I'm giving to you. Whenever I just hit a URL, maybe, or anything, for example, URL. URL means your portal URL. So whenever somebody hit that URL, you just go execute this function, take one input and give me the one output, that is the future value. Okay. So that's what you create, a one function and you give it. Now you share this function with your friends. Okay, your friends just tried, go, just you give them the URL, they run it, they got the output, they run it, they got the output. This will become a popular, maybe they, your friends just put down it to the social media. Okay, and when they put down on the social media, thousands and thousands of people are now start using it. So now what will happen is, everyone is trying to use that over the cloud, just passing that, calling that function, passing the value, and all execution is happening. Now this is a kind of a serverless computing here. Why it is serverless computing? Here we have not taken any server, we have not taken any virtual machine, we have not installed anything, we have not installed the Java, .NET, Python, anything. Okay, we are not taking any memory as well. We are not saying that I need a 10 GB machine, 100 GB machine, or a 500 GB machine. Nothing. We just, what we have done, we have just taken our code, we have given the code to them, and we say that just run it. Whenever somebody asks, just run it, and we will going to pay to the cloud for that execution period. If your function run for 1 milliseconds or 1 second, you will pay to the cloud for 1 second charges. If it runs for 10 people run it for let's say 10 seconds, then you probably end up with paying 10 10 second charges. If it got run for 1,000 times, so you will pay for 1,000 times, 1,000 seconds. So the idea here is, you don't have to take all that complexity of creating servers, allocating the memory, and then putting something onto the server and run it. You think like that there is no server at all. This, you look like it is a serverless. There is no server at all, and you just give the code, and automatically it go on and keep running and running and running. And the best thing is you get here the scalability. So scalability means is, if you run it 10 times, you have to pay for the 10 times charges. If you want to run it for a 1 million time, still it will going to run for a 1 million time, and you might get charged for that 1 million execution. So that's the advantage of this serverless computing. So in this serverless computing, you just focus only on your piece of a code, or only on your business functionality which you want to deliver, and automatically all you just deploy this function. You don't create a web application, you don't create a server, anything. Okay, and that's how you can create your serverless computing, and this can be done in the Azure in two ways. One is Azure functions, and another service is your logic apps. So there are two services, Azure functions and logic apps. Both of these two services falls under the category of serverless computing. So now let's go down to our portal.azure.com and see how you can create such kind of a function. So let me come down here to my account, and let's see how you can create such kind of a function. So let's go down to I hope I am back again. I'm really sorry. There is a technical, not technical glitch. There's a power cut actually. So our power went down. So there is a cut. So I hope I'm back online again. Okay, great. So coming back to this, the present, the practical part of it. So basically, when you're going to use this Azure functions versus your logic app, you need to ensure that logic app is a little costly, and even Azure function is also a costly. So make sure that when you are using it, you are using it carefully so that you won't get charged. So as soon as you try test it, go and delete it. Okay, so don't keep it for a long. Maybe if you put it in a in a not incorrect manner, you might get charged a little high. Okay, so ensure that, please. Now how you can create it, let's see here. So I don't know how long this live stream will go, because somehow my battery will not last for a longer. So it's just showing 10 minutes. So I just try to quickly wrap this up. If we get the power back before it, we'll continue, otherwise my battery will go down. Or I can do one thing. I can, okay, let me try. I have another laptop which has a better battery. Let me check. Okay. So for creating an Azure functions, what you can do is you go down to functions, you type in the function, you see this function app. So that is your Azure functions. You come down to the Azure function. I already have created few of them. If you want to create, let's quickly click on create. This will create your function. So come here. This is taking time. Okay, so now As always, whenever you create any resources into the Azure, you need subscription, you need resource group. So you can pick up any resource group. We created this one. You give any name of your function app. So I'll say AZ fundamental function. Okay. So I gave some name. Then you can decide what is the kind of a runtime environment you see. So me creating this function app, you will decide whether you are going to create your function within a Python, Node.js, Java, some script, or whatever way. Okay. So you have to decide what you need to get installed on that machine where this function will going to run. So you can decide it. So let's say we give a Python. Okay, so you can decide the version, you can decide the region in which location all this will be there. And you can see here even this plant type. So you can just see this consumption is serverless. It means that you will pay only as per the use. Okay, so you are not fixing anything on this. Keep as it is default. Rest of the thing, just quickly go. And I'm just quickly clicking on this review plus create. So this will going to create an function app. This is not going to create the function yet. So this is just like an account you are creating. And in this account you can put one function, two function, 10 function, or 100 function. It's up to you. Okay, so we have just created a one function app account only. Okay, so let me just go down and check quickly. So this is still is in the deployment mode. It's taking a little while. So anytime you create any resource in the Azure, generally it takes some time. Okay, so that is a pretty common thing, so nothing to worry about it, that why it is taking time. Okay, so one thing is portal. Okay, it's still just taking time. Okay, now it has been done. Let's go to the resource. Now once you come down to this resource, here you will see this functions. So in this function app, you see these functions. And in this functions, basically you can go on and you can create some functions. Okay, so now you see this plus create. So now this will going to create a function for us. So now in this create function, you come down here and you can put all your code, whatever is your code. So maybe a small piece of a code. So you say develop in the portal. Yes, we want to develop it here. So you have to define how it get called. So let's say we hit a URL for calling this function. So you decide actually how this function get called. You can define a lot of triggers. So maybe like at specific time of every day this will get called or anything. So you can set like that as well. So you come to this function and here you say code plus test. So now here automatically a window will open up. There you can write the code, whatever you have, and you can test it. And you can, the moment you say publish here, so this code will become a ready one. Okay. So now you can see a basic Python function has been written now. So now what this, whatever be the name you pass on to this function, and that function, this function is going to print that name. So this is nothing but a test function it has given. So if you are any Python developer and you need to write, know how to write a Python code, so you can write a one Python function here which will take few more inputs and doing whatever mutual fund calculation or whatever you want to do, you can just write it. And once this will become ready, you get this function URL. Okay, so this is the URL. So now when somebody will hit that URL, this function will start going to get run. Okay, like that. So that is the way you can go ahead and you can create your own Azure functions as well. So even you can just try a test run So in the test run, it is asking me what is the name I want to pass. So let's say I want to pass Deepak, and I say run. So automatically now my function get run. Now you see, when you run anything into the any code you run, what you need the operating system, you need the hardware, you need the RAM memory, you need everything, right, to run any function. Because if I give you this 10 lines of code, this 10 line of code need to be run on some machine, right? So in this case we have given our cloud only this function. Okay, so where our function is running, it's running somewhere into the cloud. And we have not taken any server, we have not taken any RAM, we have not taken any processor, nothing we have taken. We have just created a function app and we are just giving our code. That's what we have done. So that's why it is called as serverless computing, because we are not giving any server based information. So so that's all I have, guys, for today's session. I'm very very sorry, because you can see that my battery will not last for more than 4 minutes, so we have to cut it off early. So thank you guys for joining in. If you any one of you have any quick question, please come forward and tell me quickly, so we can discuss that. I don't know how much time. If we get a power back before that, we'll take it up. And if you are looking for any help on this, you can also take that help around this Azure Data Engineer. Okay, so this will be the my portal for Azure Data Engineer. You can come and enroll. We are starting a new batch from November 5th. Okay, back to you guys quickly. So I'll stop the screen quickly, and if you have any question, please come forward and ask all your questions. Uh, Somebody is asking, Pratik, what is the major difference between serverless cloud and SaaS look same? So I hope by this explanation, Pratik, you got this answer very clearly, that what is the difference between these two. Anyone has any other question, guys? If you have, I have another laptop. Only the problem here is I don't have credentials out there completely. So if you guys can wait, let's do it tomorrow, man. Anyways, it's almost 9, so let's do it tomorrow. Nothing to rush, because again, if I set it up there, it will take 10 minutes. So it's fine. So any questions, anyone? So Azure Functions and this Logic app is, again, as I said, is a pretty common thing which are very popular. It's a lot of time it get utilized in many projects. So please rewatch again this. Maybe I run through this little fast, but if you think that this was too fast, please go and watch this recording again. So thank you everyone for joining today's. I have to sign it off now. So thank you. For any issues, please reach out to me. And if you are not a part of our WhatsApp group, you can come and join that WhatsApp group as well. And somebody who have this link, please share it in the chat so that others can join that WhatsApp group as well. So thank you everyone. I will cover all these questions for this maybe in the tomorrow session. Okay, thank you. See you. Bye bye.